Some charts you can just tell they're ready, they're coiling up for a big move. This is Shiba Inu, and this is the weekly chart. Remember, the higher the time frame, the higher the conviction. So we're ready for a big break on the weekly, but more importantly, when we jump into the daily, Shiba Inu is about to make a bull signal that's going to be flashing within the next 2 days that nobody's talking about. We are going to start on the higher time frame, and then I'm going to bring you in and then show you that special bullish indicator that I'm talking about. So weekly time frame, each one of these candles is 1 week of price action. So this is the long time. This is an investment standpoint, and this is a higher time frame thesis when you're on the weekly chart. You've got to be patient when you're on the weekly chart. And what I've done is I've measured Fibonacci retracement tool from its swing high, that's back in November 2021, its bull market high, all the way to its bear market low. And the first thing that you expect within a bear market relief rally is a 382 retracement. And see what reaction we had here. This is the 382 retracement. So all the way down here at 0.00003717, had a reaction from there and a pullback, and then we formed this trend line here. So we formed the trend line here, and this trend line is going to be our story. This is going to be our indicator to tell us when the bulls have got conviction. Once we've got a break and once we've got a close out of this trend line, that's shown that the bulls have got momentum, and then you can protect yourself below the low. So there's a few metrics that I'm looking at. That's the higher time frame. Those are the levels that I've got marked out. That's my Fibonacci retracement tool on the macro time frame. So if we zoom into the daily chart, I want to show you a couple of things that I'm looking at. First thing that you see, we're forming a bit of a reversal pattern inside of this wedge. There's the left shoulder, there's the head, there's the right shoulder. Once you get a break and a close above this area here, which is sat at 0.00002155, then that's given conviction that the bulls have regained control. So this break is going to be the significant one, guys. You can stick a trend line down here, stick a trend line. That's your momentum line pushing you out of the trend. So if price does this, clumps together, and then bam, close above, that's when I'd be interested. That's when I'd be protecting myself below the low. Why is it important to protect yourself below the low if you're trading once you've put in that new higher low? Why is it important? Because it's preservation of capital, guys. It's conviction. If you're wrong, you want to be wrong with the least amount of capital. And otherwise, guys, if you're protecting yourself before a move's happened, how do you know that that's the low? How do you know it's not going to put in another lower low? That's the key. Wait for the break, wait for the break. So this 382, we've had a test from the 382, we've had a reaction, we've had a rejection from the 382. So this is going to be my first target. That's sat up here at 0.00003715. And if I just measure that from where price action is now, that's a 93.87 move to the upside. That's my first area. So if I was trading and I'd had a break, that would be my take profit zone. If I'm investing, I'll be looking for higher levels during the course of the bull market. So you need to flip your mindset and decide what kind of hat that you've got on. Right, okay, so what do we need to happen in the short term? Let's have a look. Pull up some indicators. What do we need to happen in the short term? So we're on the daily chart. Each one of these candles now represents 1 day of price action. We look at the RSI and we look at the stochastic at any given time to find out if we're overbought or oversold, if we've got any wiggle room to push out of this trend line. You can see we're entering into overbought on the stochastic. And remember, it doesn't mean that we can't do something like this and stay overbought while it gives price a chance to retest and then go back and test the 382. So you keep an eye on that. And this is just going to be one of your first metrics to know if you're overbought, if you're oversold, and then you can move on to another metric, something like the RSI. Are you above 50? Are you below 50? Above 50 is bullish. Below 50 is bearish. See what happens below 50 here, below 50 here. Above 50, above 50. So you gain in levels when you're above the 50, you lose in levels when you're below the 50. So the RSI is always another good metric. The next thing that I'm going to be looking for is, pull these back up. Next thing that I'm going to be looking for, how much conviction are we going to have on the break? The one thing that you can do to tell how much conviction you've got is pull up the volume. Pull up the volume. So you can see the volume at the bottom bar here. Why is this important? Because you can understand once you've got a volume bar, whether the bulls have actually got momentum, whether there's actually volume behind the trades, whether there's volume behind the buyers. You can tell by these volume candles down here. You can tell by these volume candles down here. Look what happened here. You've got spike in volume, spike in volume, spike in volume. Look what happened to price action during that spike in volume. So this is going to be one of your confirmations. That's going to be one of the confirmations. So you've got the break, you've got the volume. The next thing that I'm going to be looking for, guys, and this is the bull signal, this is the macro bull signal, is we're about to hit in the next couple of days a golden cross. As long as Shiba Inu stays above the 200 daily moving average within the next couple of days, we're going to get a golden cross. We're going to get the 200 cross underneath, 50 period moving average. We're going to get a cross. That will act as double support, double confluence. You hold in the 50, you hold in the 200, strong support, bam, straight through. So those are the indicators that I'm looking for Shiba Inu. It's looking like it's coiling up for that big move. It's looking like that big move could be imminent, but there's a couple of metrics that I'm looking for first before I'm jumping in. So if you did find this useful, guys, let me know in the comments what you want me to cover next. Join the Discord group and I'll see you in the next one.